Hey, welcome to this week's live stream. Of course, last week I had to miss it for various reasons, but I'm back. So I hope everybody's well, and I've got another gig this weekend. The poster you should find below. About two posts below this, you'll find a picture, and it's for Lafardy in Failsworth, and I'll be there on Saturday evening doing my thing, or my thang, and so yeah, if you're in Failsworth, drop on in. It's a great place, and they do some wicked cocktails apparently. I don't drink, so I'll never find that out, but there you go. So let's just see if I'm actually coming through. I'll do the usual checking just to find out and see if the sound's coming through. Yep, the sound's coming through. That's okay, so I'm happy. And I'm going to click on... Yep, the sound's coming through. That's okay, so I'm happy. Click on that, and then I can see if anybody comes in. What I should be doing really is I should be shouting out if you comment, if you just say hi, that kind of thing, and so I should be able to see in real time, but I can't on the Mac because it doesn't show up on the Mac because I'm going through a system called OBS, which is the streaming system that I use. But on my phone I can see if anybody does say hello, and so I'm looking forward to the gig on Saturday, and so I'm going to start off with a song which is quite close to where I usually am. I usually find myself. And it's called Nobody Wants to Know You When You're Down and Out. So once I lived the life of a millionaire. Spent all my money, I just did not care. Took all my friends out for a really, really good time. We drank the bootleg whiskey and we drank that champagne wine. Then I find myself so low. Ain't got no money and I ain't got nowhere to go. If I could get my hands on $1 again, I'd squeeze that old dollar until that eagle grins, because nobody wants to know you anymore. When you're down and you are out, in my pocket not one lousy dime. As for all of my good friends, they just pass me by. But now I'm getting back up on my feet again. Suddenly everybody wants to be my new best friend. I'll tell you this without one shed of a doubt: nobody Nobody wants to know you when you're down and out. I said, now nobody wants to know you anymore when you are down and out. I'll tell you this without one shred of a doubt. I said nobody wants to know you. Nobody wants to know you anymore. I said nobody wants to know you when you're down and you are out. When you are down and out. And there's not a truer word than that. When you're down, nobody wants to know you. But when you're up, they're all with you. Well, I forgot to get myself a bloody drink, as usual. In a road. So, hope everybody's well. I'm going to do a shorter one this week than I usually do. I'm not going to do any videos. I'm just going to sing 4 or 5 songs and then bugger off again. But this particular song, this next song, was done by the great George Jones, a country singer. Back in 1980, he pulled this one out of the hat. And you may recognise it if you've heard the version done by Chris Stapleton. And this is all about Tennessee whiskey. And that's exactly what it's called, Tennessee whiskey. Right, here goes, Tennessee whiskey. Used to spend all my nights in a bar room. Liquor was the only love that I knew. But you rescued me from reaching the bottom and brought me back from being too far gone. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I'm stoned on your love all the time. I look for love in all the wrong places. on the bottom of the bottle was always dry. But when you poured out your heart, baby, I didn't waste it. 'Cause there's nothing like your love to get me high. 'Cause you're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. Baby, you're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time. Said you're as sweet and smooth as Tennessee whiskey. Baby, you're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass full of brandy. Baby, I stay stoned on your love all the time. Tennessee whiskey. There you go. So, oh, I'm going to do this one now. I've not done this one for ages. So, yeah. So, I got a gig. Did I mention that? Can't remember whether I did. And I'm going to do a plug for my my CD, which is strategically placed there to remind anybody that wants to buy my CD and support my live stream and my music. Then all you got to do is message me, and if I can find where it is, I will click on CD, and you'll see this picture on the screen. It's my CD, 10-track CD, called Songs on the Back Foot. And if you message me on Facebook for £7 of your English pounds, I will post it to you free of charge. And also is the fact that I'll send a free DVD with it. So you'll be able to watch me as well as listen to me. How's that? Cheap at twice the price. So message me if you want a CD, and that'll be great. Okay. The Great Eagles, of course, Tequila Sunrise. And let's see if there's anybody in the house. Yeah, Steve Prickett, my old cock sparrow. How's it going, pal? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing okay. And Lisa Cambridge. Hello, Lisa. Thanks for tuning in. Well, there you go. So I'm not playing to myself. Which is always encouraging when you find out you're not playing with yourself and you're playing with others. Or should I have worded that differently? I don't know. I'm going to do this one. This is an old one, this. I don't know whether this one... it's actually a jazz a jazz classic, this one. Remember how it goes. When you're smiling, that's it. The whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, oh, you're really laughing, and the world sun comes shining through. But when you're crying, you're gonna bring on that rain, so stop that sighing and just be happy again. When you're smiling, keep on smiling, and the whole world's gonna smile with you. When you're smiling, yeah, the whole world smiles with you. And when you're laughing, oh, you're really laughing. You know the sun, it comes a-shining through. But when you're crying, you're gonna bring on that rain, so stop that sighing and just be happy again. When you're smiling, keep on smiling, and the whole world gonna smile with you. Said the whole world's gonna smile with you. There you go, so keep on smiling. And why not? Now, this last one I'm going to do before the last one. So it's the penultimate, isn't it? That's what they call it, the penultimate. This one is a song I wrote, and it's actually on my CD, Songs on the Back Foot. And this is a song I wrote all about fishing, about fly fishing. I've been fishing since I was a kid, and I decided to give. Usually it's float fishing that I used to do a lot of. And I've done sea fishing, float fishing, carp fishing, specimen hunting, pike fishing. I've done all sorts of fishing. But the one thing I'd never tried was fly fishing. So I decided to go out and treat myself to the full outfit, you know, the fly rod and the line and the flies and the waders and the vest with all the tackle angling off it and everything. And so I went to this shop in Stockport, not too far from where I live, and I said, you know, I want to kit myself out. So he said, right, come over here. And he sorted me out with all the gear and everything. And I said, where's the best place to go, local? And he said, you can go to lakes, private lakes, where you can pay. He said, but the only thing is with that is like fishing in a barrel. You know, they stock them up. So you've got thousands of fish in there, you can't really go wrong. And I wanted a bit of a challenge. So he said, well, what you want to do, you want to try the River Goyt. The best place to go on the River Goyt would be round about New Mills way. So I got in the car, loaded up, and went down to New Mills, and lovely stretch of water, fantastic. And so picturesque and everything. There's the river's flowing by, you know, it's fantastic. Sun Road. I'm in my element. So I started going down to weekends, and I got the casting. I had to practice the cast. Once I got the casting right, and you've got to match the fly with the particular. They call it matching the hatch, which is where the fly, the artificial fly, has to match the flies that are actually hatching at that period of time in the season. So you know, if you're like mayflies come out in May and that kind of thing, and so I'm tying on these flies, and I actually started tying my own flies as well, and I made all sorts of concoctions, but I'm tying these flies on, and I'm casting and getting stuck in the tree and getting stuck under the water in the weeds and this, that and the other, but I persevered, as you do. So I spent the whole season, and I never caught a bloody thing, not a thing. I kept seeing fish topping, but I never caught now. Any road, I ends up, I was down there one day, and I recognised this chap that was in the water fishing, and I said, "Oh, have you had anything?" He said, "No." He said, "I've not had anything," and it turned out that he was a champion fisherman. He was like a British champion fly fisherman. And I said, "How come you've died?" "Oh," he said, there's nothing in here. He said, "It's empty." So I've been fishing all bloody year in a river that had one or two fish in. You know, I didn't stand a bloody chance. But I enjoyed it all the same. And I fell in. And filled my waders. That was fun. I stepped into the water, and what I didn't realise is it was like 2 or 3 foot deep, maximum, everywhere, except this one place where I decided I was going to step in, and there was a bloody big hole there, and I went straight the way under. But you live and learn, don't you? Anyway, so this song's called Standing in a River, and it's all about me basically standing in a river, standing in a river and just flicking a fly about. Standing in a river up to my waist, trying to flick a line. I'm standing in a river up to my waist, and I'm trying to flick that fly, trying to catch a fish. Fish got away, trying to catch a meal to put on my plate. I'm standing in a river up to my waist, trying to flick that fly. Standing in a river up to my waist, trying to flick a line. I'm standing in a river up to my waist, and I'm trying to flick that fly, trying to catch a fish. Any fool can see, trying to catch a fish, made a fool out of me. Standing in a river up to my waist, trying to catch that fly. Standing in a river up to my waist, trying to flick a line. Said I'm standing in a river up to my waist, and I'm trying to flick that fly. I can see that fish, he's swimming free. I can see that fish, and he's laughing at me. I'm standing in a river up to my waist, trying to flick that fly. Standing in a river up to my waist, trying to flick that fly. I'm standing in a river up to my waist, starting to feel the cold. I'm standing in a river up to my waist, and I'm starting to feel the cold. Gonna leave that fish for another day in the beautiful river where he can stay. I'm standing in a river up to my waist, trying to flick that fly. Standing in a river up to my waist, trying to flick a line. Said I'm standing in a river up to my waist, and I'm trying to flick that fly, trying to catch a fish. Any fool can see, trying to catch a fish, think he made a fool out of me. I'm standing in a river up to my waist, and I think that I'll go home. There you go. A song all about basically wasting your time, but I enjoyed it. So if it's pleasure, it's never a waste. That's what they say. You can never waste time or money on pleasure. So that's it for this week. So until next week, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to say adios and thank you for tuning in. And don't forget, every Thursday, 8 o'clock, if I'm not gigging, then I'll be on air. Adios, my friends, it's time for me to go. And it's been a blast to see you all. And since we met and we first said hello, but now goodbye. And the memories we've made tonight will always be recalled in my mind. And my friends, you're always in my heart, and you will always be my kind. Adios, I have to leave to travel to somewhere that I have to be, to a place where rivers flow gently to the sea, the open sea. And the memories we've made tonight will always be recalled in my mind. And my friends, you're always in my heart, and you will always be my kind. I've sang a song or two, and I played this old guitar, and I hope the words I've sang have touched your hearts. One day I will come back and I will sing for you. And the memories we've made tonight will always be recalled in my mind. And my friends, you're always in my heart, and you will always be my kind. I said the memories we made tonight will always be recalled in my mind. And my friends, you're always in my heart, and you will always be my kind. Adios, adios. Adios, people.